Relax the body, relax the mind. How do I say to relax the mind? The mind is not staying in some way in your body, but it is just arising newly, depending on corresponding causes. The mind is ever renewing or arising newly from moment to moment, depending on the corresponding contact of senses and object. The so-called my mind or your mind is just a concept or created truth. The reality is not a single mind, nor a single soul, but impermanent process or conditional process of full mental nature, such as consciousness, feeling, perception, and volition. The consciousness is also not one single consciousness, but the kinds of consciousness will arise newly. In the rate of one consciousness at one time, depending on corresponding object. Depending on the visible object, light, colors, eye consciousness will arise newly at the right moment of contact. Depending on the sound object, ear consciousness will arise newly at the right moment of contact. Depending on the tangible consciousness, body consciousness will arise newly at the right moment of contact. Now maybe you are trying to be mindful about the breathing. Breathing is tangible objects that will come in contact on the body sense around the nostril area. Depending on the contact of in-breath and out-breath or wind energies, the body consciousness will arise. Therefore, we can be mindful, we can be aware of touchiness on the nostril area of body sense. There are 6 senses. We need to be mindful and realize they are eye sense, ear sense, nose sense, tongue sense, body sense, and mind sense. The mind sense is not staying in some way. But six kinds of consciousness are arising and ceasing one after another in the flow of, in the rate of one consciousness at one time. The so-called life, the so-called personality, the so-called ego self is just the conditional process or impermanent process of full mental nature, which are consciousness, feeling, perception, and volition. Now we hear the song. What song is it? It is just the sound energies. Ear consciousness can know only about the sound energy. But the perception will judge, that is, which kind of sound. Depending on the judgment of the perception, maybe distraction or frustration might can arise. Because generally we have the perception that we should meditate in silent place, quiet place. So we expect at the meditation time to be quiet, to be silent. At the moment of hearing such kind of sound, maybe our perception will judge that sound is noise or disturbance. It will condition innate consciousness, the frustrated mind, or annoyance mind. Most of the meditators misunderstand. One single mind hear the sound, that mind judge the sound is noise, and then the mind becomes frustrated, that mind becomes annoyed. If we consider like that, that is wrong view. In real mental process, hearing consciousness is one kind of mental state. Maybe the perception will judge the sound is like noise. That judgment which is made by perception, that is another mental state. It is not previous mental state. It is not previous mind. When the mind began frustrated, it is not previous mind. It is next mind, next new mind arising. But most of the people think that might hear the sound, that might judge the sound is noise, and then that mind becomes frustrated after judge. That is wrong view. We do not say, not to be frustrated, not to be annoyed, but we need to correct the wrong view of thinking that mind is hearing the song, that mind is judging the song as noise, that mind becomes frustrated, that mind becomes angry. Thinking that mind is doing the different function is wrong view. The main intention of the meditation practice is to correct the wrong view, to change the wrong view from right view. The defilements or negativities are just the conditioned result of wrong views. If we cannot remove the wrong view, we cannot remove the defilements or negativities. But when we can remove the wrong views, its consequences such as greed, anger, jealousy, and other defilements cannot arise anymore. So at the moment of hearing consciousness is just one mental state. After hearing, the judgment or identifying the sound is nice or good will arise. Judgment is not the previous mind function. Judgment or identifying that sound is good or bad is next consciousness, next new mental state, next new mind. Even the mind becomes frustrated. Frustrated mind is not the previous mind, not hearing mind. It is new mind arising, new mental state arising, depending on the previous mental state which judge the sound is noise. So this process can be realized by analytical mind, analytical knowledge. This process cannot be seen by eyes. This process can be realized by analytical knowledge or wisdom or insight.